Hi guys, this is Katie, Adia, and Aaron, and we are 29 and chronically online. Before we get into this episode, we wanted to remind you to follow us at wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, and we want to remind you to follow us on Instagram at 29and.co and on TikTok at 29and.co. We also have a YouTube channel where you can watch our video episodes. We thank you so much for your support, and now on to the juicy bits.
Welcome back, guys, to the 29 and Chronically Online podcast with your hosts, Katie, Aaron, and Adia.
Okay, we're doing this.
Wow, that's official.
On today's episode, we are discussing something that is near and dear to us.
It always is. It
Always is. That's why it's on our podcast. That's why it's the topic on our pod. Like, why would we choose anything that's not?
Exactly. But it is really near and dear to us because it brought us together.
Mhm.
It continues to bring us together, and it's something that we'll keep doing for the rest of our lives, and that's going to concerts.
Woo!
Love a concert.
Our
Love
unenthused. Woo!
We're like too old now. Like, back then going to concerts, you could really stick it out and like sleep on the concrete, to get like barricade, like, go like
Really
miles
commit.
and miles away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at 30, it's like, listen, I'll roll up at 7:00. I'll barely make it to 8:30. Like, I don't know how I'm making it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
If
a
a
lot of work.
concert, like if a concert doesn't have seats, like I'm not gonna
Done.
buy those, definitely, and I'll maybe think about going.
Done. Like when me and Katie went to the the band Camino, we were like, where are the seats? Like, we're too old for this. Like, we're leaning up against stuff. Like, my back's
Yeah.
hurting.
It's a long night. You're standing there for maybe 5 because we were in DC too, so we
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do beforehand. Like you
No.
get there and now we're here,
Yeah.
but you can't leave later because of the traffic.
No.
So
Mhm.
like standing for 5 hours.
It
or
was
4.
gosh.
absurd. And
like-
you see like the young kids, they have like all the spunk, and we're just like,
Yeah.
The
leaning
like
over.
standing on your heels for too long and then your back hurting, and I'm honestly like right now is hurting talking about this and thinking about it.
We were talking about the heel thing and the back thing. I felt it in my back
Yeah.
just now. I was
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would just readjust.
Really got to prepare at this age to go to concerts for sure.
Yeah.
I have earplugs like in my
yeah.
car. I'm looking at the set list to know how late I can actually get there, like
Yeah.
to see those 3 songs, and then like I'm out. I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna clock. That's
Well,
insane.
especially the way some of these tours are turning out to be. Some of them are getting a little, we'll probably talk about a few, but like
Mhm.
it's getting, I mean,
It's too
do we
much.
need to be there for the headliner for 3 hours? Like, don't get
No.
me wrong, I love getting my money's worth, but if you're not going to play your bobs, like, what's the point? Like,
What's the point?
Yeah, I've not seen 1 minute of a headliner in the Jonas Brothers tours.
You mean the openers?
Yeah, sorry, the
yeah.
opener. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't go to the Jonas Brothers tour.
We barely made it in time for the headline.
That's true.
We really did, yeah. But I mean, there's like no point in, I mean, there is a point because like I want to support like smaller artists, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like my ticket buying is that support. And I'm like, I'm here to see whoever. I'm here to see not this opener, but the headliner. And it just is so packed. Like at the beginning when everyone's trying to get in, trying to be there for 6:30 or whatever. And I'm like, I can't.
Sometimes even just like buying the ticket, you might start listening to them, like the openers, just because like, oh,
just
like
to be a familiar.
Exactly. So you may not necessarily need to see them. You may just end up supporting them inadvertently for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Honestly,
stream
the
some
worst
songs.
thing, give them a little couple pennies off Spotify. But I was gonna say the worst thing is like when you just don't listen to them at all, and like you get there and maybe it's like the last song and it's actually a banger, and you're like,
what I miss?
Like,
I
damn, I really
like, damn it. And you like actually become a fan of them. Like that happened to me for the band Camino. I think the first time that they were here, I was like familiar with the popular ones, but I wasn't like into it. And then I like came late, obviously, and I heard like the last song. I was like, holy crap, I'm a little upset I missed this. And then you have to go listen to the album and you're like, I could have heard this tonight, but
Right. And you're like,
Yeah.
are they coming again? And I could have seen it
Literally,
tonight.
it's
Like,
like
where's
next.
this?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I feel like that happened to me, like, like the first time I saw One Direction, and where I was like, oh, like, who's opening? I don't know them, like, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, simp for 5 seconds of summer. So it's like, it could be good, but also it could be.
The 1D to 5 sauce pipeline is a direct line.
Yeah.
I mean,
there
so,
nobody's
like-
even pretending. Like the
No.
boys weren't pretending.
No.
Nobody.
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
And it worked for them.
They did. They're probably
Yeah.
one of like the most successful opening acts of like
Ever probably.
to like turn into actually more than an opening act. Like I can't think of anyone else that has opened for someone that is now like still pretty big. Like I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, today we're getting into concerts. We'll talk about our favorite concerts, our favorite tours, some iconic moments in concerts, things like that.
Things we like, things we don't like.
Yeah,
See where the
concert
wind takes
etiquette,
us.
you know,
Yeah.
like there's definitely like do's and don'ts of going to concerts, and as veteran concert goers, I think we're pretty like well versed in knowing what those are.
I think so. And I think the amount of like variety in concerts that we've all been to like gives us a good sense of just like concert etiquette in general.
Because there's different
And
kinds.
things
Like
like
a Stan concert is different than like a U2 concert, you know, where it's like a big like just random regular like dad rock, you know, like there's different.
Okay, I was wondering what you
Yeah.
meant by U2. I was like,
Like
wait,
U2,
like actual U2.
like
okay,
U2,
okay.
U2. Yeah, like that's completely different than going to like a 1D concert. Like
Yeah.
there's things that you do and don't do. But yeah.
You're so right. I'm like being transported. I just remembered an artist I didn't even have on my list because you said that.
Yeah. And you're just like, okay.
I'm here now.
I'm here.
Yeah.
It's live
Yeah.
music. That's fun. But like
Yeah.
it's completely
Yeah.
different experience. Okay, who wants to go like first with
Have we talked about our first concerts on this podcast? Like in general, our first that we've
think
ever
so.
No.
Because we could start there.
Yeah,
and then kinda,
let's
like,
do that,
See
let's
where
do that.
things go.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first concert was the concert that I count as my first concert is Avril Lavigne and Boys Like Girls. The Girlfriend tour, like that was iconic. So back to the Aaron lore, my mother would not let me go to concerts like back early in the day. But I was like, I just want to go. And so finally, I think in like 7th or 8th grade, I went to that concert, and then I haven't stopped going to concerts. Like
That's a good first concert too.
That was iconic
I think
actually.
so.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
My first concert was a Kelly Clarkson concert in like 2006 or 7, maybe. Whenever she, I mean, you can probably Google it, you know, whatever. Whenever she was here. It was also the first day I ever shaved my leg.
Listen, we'll have to
Yeah.
come back to that.
Not that like those don't really correlate because like Kelly Clark, whatever. Anyway,
we'll come
Those
back to it.
important moments, honestly, though.
yeah. But yeah, Kelly Clarkson. I think I ended up going with like a family friend, and like Nikki was there too. They got some tickets from like the radio station for
wow.
free,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we were like, we're going. So that was fun. I mean, I don't remember that much from it, but that sparked a whole thing where like after that, my parents just started. We just went to concerts. Like we would go in Richmond to the National. They would just drop us off at the front door. We're 14 years old. Like you guys are just dropping us off at the
Like the middle of freaking Broad Street.
right. And then there was one time we really wanted to see. I mean, there's a couple different bands, but like at the show in North Carolina, our parents drove us to like a group of us to North Carolina and dropped us off at the door there. Similar vibe of the National. Of like
I
it was
love
just
your
like a
parents.
club.
That's
Like, it was just,
iconic.
like- and the biggest one that at that moment was like huge. We went to the soundtrack of your summer tour. I don't know if you heard of this. Yeah.
Yes.
It took some convincing, and we saw the main metro station, Good Charlotte, and it was just a group of five
What a
8th grader
lineup.
That's
in
iconic.
Richmond, right outside of ECU, with two dads who drove us in a Suburban. And I remember after the one of the first sets was the main because they were still like pretty. It was
Yeah.
like right after Can't Stop Won't Stop dropped.
Oh
they
my,
were
that
brand
life-changing
new.
album. Oh my gosh.
And they were in the van still. And I remember after their set, we met up with the dads again because they were like sitting in the shade. Like they're not like whatever.
Honestly, me now at concerts sitting in the shade.
They were like, nobody told us there was going to be cursing here.
That's always a big one.
Yeah.
Always when you go with parents, like.
But it was just funny because, like, looking back, I'm like, y'all were just dropping us off.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing, Kelly Clarkson, we're at, like, whatever, parents are there.
Mhm.
It's like Virginia Beach, but y'all just dropping us off at these random, like, bars.
Spots.
Like, yeah,
Literally. Yeah.
concert venues. So that was very formative for me. And
Wow.
luckily, we were kids and didn't do anything
That's
stupid.
good. Oh
Like,
my gosh.
didn't talk to any creeps. Like, we
Mhm.
just,
Gosh.
yeah, I feel like that could have gone so wrong.
It really, a bunch of
well,
Honestly.
especially with those
graders,
type of, like, artists.
bands, they
the
were
yeah,
known for.
creepy things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
8th grade was right up their alley.
Oh, for sure.
Unfortunately. Right up their alley.
The puffy shirts
Yeah.
weren't doing anything for us. The puffy paint, sorry.
No.
So
And
Oh my
that's
gosh,
why
I
Warped
love
Tour
the
is
puffy
not
paint
here.
shirts.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I have a story about a puffy paint shirt. But my first concert technically was this boy band called B5. I don't know if you guys know them, but
You
like
said B or V?
beef.
Okay.
B
Okay.
as in breeding, as your last name, breeding 5. That was like my first concert, but it was like, you know how like colleges have like auditoriums.
Oh,
So it was like they
Yeah.
were playing at like I think it was like
small
GMU or
show.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like
I love
they
that.
call it an arena, but it's
Yeah.
like an auditorium pretty much.
Yeah.
So that was like my first one, but like my actual like first concert. Well, the B5 was like in 6th grade or something. My actual first concert was in the 9th grade. It was Folia Du Tour with Fall Out Boy, 50 Cent, which was so random. And
That's how things were, though, in
That is
2009.
so-
yeah,
Like, that
it was
checks
so
out.
weird. It was so weird. But I remember, so my actual first real concert was like 9th grade, right? So from
Yeah.
6th grade to 9th grade, there were plenty of concerts I wanted to go to. But this might sound stupid, but like I didn't know how I didn't know how concerts worked. Of like how to get in.
Yeah,
Like-
like the 6th grade one, you just showed up and somebody like did it all.
It was, and I went with like a parent, like some of
Yeah.
my friend's mom, and like she
Yeah.
handled it. But like, I didn't know like the process of like you get the ticket, you stand in line, they scan. Like I didn't know how to do any of that, and I was so terrified to like try to figure it out that I didn't want to go do it. And this was like before Google was like really a thing. Like you Google
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but it was like more like Ask Jeeves, you know. And I
It
was like,
very like tickets were being sold on MySpace.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like I would search like, how do I go to a concert? And it's just like buy the ticket. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I
right.
need like step-by-step instructions.
No,
Like
how do I buy the ticket?
exactly. It's like when you go to the airport for the first time, you're like, where do I go? Like who do I like that's how it
Yeah.
felt. And my anxiety was just
Can
so
I just
bad.
walk right in?
That's
Do I, like,
and I'm like,
yeah.
what if I'm standing in line and like I'm in the wrong line? It was just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So like I didn't go to so many concerts because I was just taken over with anxiety.
yeah, yeah.
From 6th grade to 9th grade. But luckily 9th grade, it was like a group of friends and their mom was driving and I was like,
They already knew the deal.
yeah. But the thing was, they were like, oh yeah, you've been to plenty of concerts, right? Because I was like really into music. So they
Yeah.
assumed, like they were older than me.
Yeah,
They were like in the
obviously,
10th
like-
grade. Like they're like, you've totally been to concerts. I'm like, yeah.
better believe
I've been to concerts since the 6th grade. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like I'm like freaking out. So I was like, you guys go first and
Yeah.
you know, I'll follow. And I'm like seeing like how they're
Yeah,
like doing
yeah,
it
yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, we got like front row, like in the pit. I crowd surfed. It
Ooh.
was like the
Oh my
best.
God,
It was the
okay.
best thing ever. It was
Yeah.
amazing. So
Wow.
good
As a
time for a
ninth
first
grader.
concert. Yeah. And then it went uphill ever since then.
These are such random concerts that we started
So
with.
random.
Like,
Kelly Clarkson, Avril Lavigne,
B5.
B5, yeah.
Although we're not really counting her because then the 9th grade one was wild too.
That
with
was-
Fall Out
yeah.
Boy and you said 50 Cent.
That was like an actual concert, so I'll
Yeah.
definitely like, yeah,
claim that one.
I'll do that one for sure. Is my first one.
To people who I'm not close with, that's the one. But
Yes, yes. But the people I went with, I've been to plenty of concerts before then. So
Yeah.
thousands.
thousands. Of
I
concerts.
don't know. I just feel like there probably were other things that we'd all been to. Like there are like festivals, especially at the beach, like just at the ocean front. They have
Yeah.
like Patriotic Fest or whatever. It's like I know for a fact I saw Jimmy Buffett there.
Yeah.
But like
Oh.
I didn't have a ticket for that. Like I just was like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you were there.
I just remembered. I did go to a concert before this one, but
Oh.
I don't remember it as being a concert because it was like an event.
It was like a fake thing.
It was
yeah.
2008. Obama had just gotten elected. And this is when I
Always
lived.
start.
I lived. My mom was still in the Marines, so we lived like on base and everything. And when you
okay.
live,
Did
on,
they have?
they
someone-
gave tickets
Yeah.
to the inaugural kids concert. and my mom got tickets. So this is Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus. Like it was when Disney. It was on Disney Channel, right? It aired on Disney. I was there, so that was like my actual, but I don't think of it as like a concert because it was like a whole thing. But like that was the first time I saw Michelle Obama in person. Like Jill Biden was there. Like I was in the 8th grade seeing like all of my faves. I think Demi Lee was there, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Miley sang The Climb. It was absolutely stunning. Like it was because that was like such a vibe.
The prime of that song.
2008. Like, it was like the peak. Like people. It was. I mean, Zero from Holes was there. Like it was like a lot of people. Like it was like a big deal. Yeah, it was. And I had like pretty good seats too. And I remember like. I was like trying to get Joe's attention. Like I'm sure it was small enough. Yes, like it was small enough to where he could totally see like if I was like catching his eye. And I remember I was doing like this thing, like the crazy arm thing during like the parts of the song where it's like slow or they're like talking. And there's a moment where like he looks off to the side. And I swear, like all my fucking life, I swear that this video exists. I've seen it, but I cannot find it. And people saw it at school. They're like, "Were you like?" But it's literally like a 2-second clip. But anyway, I'm like doing this, right? And then Joe looks over like, and it's literally like 2 seconds of like.
That's all it, like that counts.
That's all it took. Man. And I was telling everyone at school, like, did you see the weird look that Joe did? Yeah, that was to me. Like that was to me. And they're like, prove it. I'm like, I mean, I'm like circling like the video of like a little blob right there. Like I was sitting in this area, but
you're like, see that brown blob right there?
That's me. That's me. Yeah, no, I'll call that my first concert actually. So
I mean, it honestly, it sounds very, even though it's an event, it sounds like it was really a concert.
It was something. Too. I really got to find that clip. I've been searching for decades now to find this clip. I gotta find it. I love
that.
I'll search.
You have to. I feel like my first like actual, well, I consider that my first concert, but I definitely went to like Christian music festivals. Before. But I also, again, with the like, I didn't know how to buy a ticket. I was just vibing. Like my friends were like, "Oh, do you want to come?" I was like, "Sure, Mom, can I go?" She was like, "It's Christian?" Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I feel like I saw like a bunch of people there, but could I remember a single name? No.
All a blur for sure.
No. Yeah, gosh. That brought me back. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. You start unpacking memories and
you're
surprised at what you find.
Holy crap. Yeah, I gotta find that.
It's tough because
it's like interesting that we all went to like concerts around the same time. Because I always thought that I was like later, like my concert experience going was like later because I feel like people that I went to school with had been to concerts before. Yeah. I was just like, I want to see live music, but my mother's not letting me. So,
although, like thinking back, I don't know if I would have wanted it to be any earlier because, like, what kind of memory am I having, like, in elementary school? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm there, like, what am I gonna remember? Like, even some of these, like, we just talked about a few that, I mean, you forgot about that event in general. Like, that was all together. Like, I mean,
and it was formative too. Like, and I just completely forgot about it.
So I feel like it probably was a good age generally because then you actually start to remember things. I don't know.
Definitely. Yeah. But at the time, and still I'm like, Mom, how dare you not have let me?
For sure. For sure. And even like growing up and be like, I'm going to let my kids go to any concert they want to go to.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh my God, the thought of having to drive Phoenix at like 6 o'clock and picking him up at like 10, 11.
Listen. Waiting in that line to pick up at 10 o'clock.
Call your dad. Call your dad.
That's
cannot. I cannot.
I'll do drop off.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Let's get into our faves, I guess.
Absolutely. I'll just start out any Beyonce concert that I've been to. Fave. Like, she is such an amazing performer, and I always forget that I went to the On the Run tour, so I've seen Jay-Z as well. Like that didn't have an impact on me. Like Beyonce being Beyonce was the impact.
No, literally.
I mean, the performer of our generation. So
I have her performance at Coachella as one of the top concerts of all time. I live streamed it, so like I'm saying I was there. Like I was, I stayed up.
I was
like
up at 1 a.m. or whatever time.
Yep.
Like,
I was sat
and I
in
was
my
watching
dorm.
it. And do I keep watching the Netflix
Yes. Like
talk? Yeah.
all the time.
I will keep streaming that.
You know it's a good concert when you want to learn the choreography.
That's
like,
true.
I was like, I need the outfits. I need the choreo. I need the vocals. Beyonce, help me.
Exactly. So yeah, that's definitely a top one. I also put I put Cowboy Carter on here because I already know it's going to be iconic. So I'm preemptively putting it on this list
as
because
like a favorite. Yeah,
because I already know.
I love
like
that.
if Renaissance is like that,
true.
Cowboy
Renaissance
Carter,
was insane.
You're actually so right for like thinking about. Yeah.
She's gonna blow our socks off with this tour. But I'm scared. No.
Oh yeah, like every Beyonce tour, people are like, it can't get better than this. It can't get like the Formation tour was that girl.
Yes.
But then she was like, here's Renaissance, and I was like, and now I'm like, nothing can top that.
Not even, it's just like, it's the visuals, it's the choreo, it's like the atmosphere, it's the outfits. Like, there's so many different parts to a Beyonce like concert that's more than just the music.
It's not just her on stage singing.
No.
And maybe walking around. Like, she's doing everything.
Yes. And it's truly, there's no other word to describe her besides iconic. So, yeah, Cowboy Carter, Renaissance, Formation, On the Run, like, you could keep going on and on. Like, all of those concerts are definitely like top tier for sure. So
yeah.
And if you don't believe so, you're just stupid and a hater.
You're listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, you're in the wrong spot, bud.
Yeah,
no. But what do you guys feel about the Eras tour? I know people want to make it like,
well, besides like,
yeah, like the force feeding of it like everywhere. But here's the thing. I love the concept of an Eras tour. I just hate that it's like Taylor branded. Like if Justin Bieber did an Eras tour.
Now it's like
they're
copying
Yes,
her.
yeah. Like Jonas Brothers tried their version of it. Like it's not like the same, but it is the same. But there's so many people that I would love to do like an Eras tour for them. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't. People are like pitting like Eras tour against like Renaissance, and like they're not even in the same lane. Like
they're really not.
You can't.
Like that's the whole thing. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing with their whole spheres.
Them
is like
artists in general. Yeah,
because a lot of people are like, oh, they're equal like singers, and it's like they're clear. Like the way Beyonce's choreography, Taylor Swift couldn't even look at that and pretend. Like
no.
It's just not the same. And I know there was, the Prep for Eras tour came out that she like was singing on the treadmill or whatever. It's like Beyonce's been doing that since she was 17. Like,
come on, babes. Like you're so behind.
It's just tough in that regard because it's like they aren't comparable. You're exactly right. Yes, it's a 3-hour concert and like props to her because it is a lot and she sings, surprise songs every night and that's a lot. But when you think about the two, it's like they really are on such different levels.
One's like ROTC boot camp and one's like Navy SEALs boot camp.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought you were gonna say one was like Weenie Hut Jr.
No,
like,
that's literally what it's like.
That's what you were going.
No, Weenie Hut Jr. versus like it's like going to Planet Fitness and then going to like Iron Gym. They're just not even in the same lane. But that's wild. I guess one of my favorites. Let's see here. Now that we've covered Beyonce, we've also kind of talked about the 5 Sauce 1D, like obviously iconic. Yeah. Like
we wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
No,
for
we
them.
wouldn't. Catapulting 5 Sauce, but also 1D, just having the concert movie and like those were the good days when it was like the actual concert movie. 1D had it, Miley had it, Jonas Brothers had it, of like the actual concert, and I love a good concert movie. Like Beyonce's was great because it was behind the scenes, like.
I love a good behind the scenes moment. Like, that's what I want from these concert DVDs.
Because I could watch anybody's video online.
Oh, for sure.
And see the concert itself, but the behind the scenes, I want to know.
All on TikTok. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and especially like during COVID when they were trying to do like exclusive stuff because people were home and they couldn't go anywhere. It's like that's what I want. I want the things that you don't normally post. Like I want to see like you struggling to write a song or like like doing whatever. But we don't get content like that anymore. It's just like, it's not good content.
It is sad because I was thinking about that today separately, like, because Scott was asking me about Monkey Man, and the way I pulled like 10 facts out of the air of like, he broke his hand, it was also bought by Monkey Pot, whatever. It was like a whole thing. And it's like, that's what I need for every facet of celebrity, but like, we're not getting it from every facet of celebrity.
No.
I need to know everything. And
Crumbs.
it's not even, I don't even need to know like, I feel like we're divulging quickly into like blood type, social security. I don't want that. I want like, how did you do that? Like, how did you get there? Like, tell me all about it.
Yeah.
The process of like doing whatever act, like singing, dancing, working on a show, like whatever, like that I want to see. I don't need to see like, I mean, am I nosy? Yes. Do I want to know day to day what you do? But I don't need that in a DVD form or like in a, you know, movie form. Like, I'm just trying to see your artistic process.
That's what we have reality TV for. Those
you.
people, I'll watch what they're doing day to day.
Thank you.
We are
Exactly.
separate from reality TV.
Yes. Speaking of tour, like concert movies and documentaries, I did not go to Love on Tour. Harry Styles, unfortunately. Like I had many opportunities, but I was just broke as hell. I think I was like, I like just had Phoenix or something. I don't remember, but
I think that was like
the
around
timeline
the time,
checks out.
yeah, like right around that time. But I wanted to go so bad, obviously. So I would scour like the internet for live videos, and it's like the scammers on YouTube that will like. The thumbnail is like an HQ photo of the concert, and you're like, all right, this is gonna be a good one. And then it's literally like a shaky ass, like up in the rafters person that's recording the concert, and you're like, oh, I've been duped again. Like it was so bad. But I did find a stream of the whole Love on Tour. And they took like they take those like if you don't get it, you're done. But then he did what I think it was Harry's house. Like he did a live like Apple Music thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the person that uploaded it didn't even name it like anything that had to do with Harry Styles. So I don't even know how I found
you just,
it.
Like, had subscribed to them for prior screens.
Like it was just it was a perfect moment in the stream, and it was HQ. Like it was perfect, right? And I watched that thing like every single day almost. Like I'm working, it's on the background when I'm working. And I would send it to friends, like, you gotta watch this like this is the good version.
Come on.
And I remember like sitting at my desk, like working from home, which I don't do often, but you know, I was like, okay, whatever. I was so excited to press play on this hour and a half thing. And I see on the fucking screen, it's like, this has been copyrighted by like so many I'm like,
tragic.
You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And not even like a week before that, I was like, maybe I should screen record this.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, maybe I should just record, like, just to have, like, when
Just in
people
case.
do, like, VHS. I was like, I should do that for this. But no, I didn't. And now look at me. I'm forever lost. So, that's a tour I wish I went to.
We're all lost because, like, I didn't record. I recorded some videos from it, but it wasn't like I literally just reset my phone. Like, I'm not
done. Yeah.
It's not there.
No, so it's all up here. And that's the same for you with the live stream. It's all up here.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember, but yeah.
Nikki and I went to North Carolina for Love on Tour.
I saw.
Well, it was kind of wild, too, because we bought the tickets pre-COVID, and then they canceled like everything. And well, actually, I guess it wasn't canceled. He was like, "We're pushing it back," and I'm like, "Am I going to be off that day? Like, what's the?"
No, seriously.
Like, I bought a ticket for a Saturday. It's on like a fucking Tuesday now. It's like whatever. It ended up working out, but it was.
That was literally
quite the
me
drive.
because obviously I bought the ticket pre-COVID. I had row 3 seats. In the middle, and then obviously I moved to California, and the tour date was after that. So I was like, well, guess I'm selling this.
Yeah.
But low-key, I did upsell the hell
As you should.
like, I mean, people are looking, and then I made a good chunk of change. So
We love that, though.
we move on.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're not a scammer. You're not doing that.
No.
Out of
Yeah, you
It
just
was
needed.
like cheaper than all the other ones around it, so I'm not a scammer. Like those people were scammers, not me.
Well, and you were inconvenienced. It's not like you bought it just to sell it too. Like you were truly gonna go, and then it just didn't work out. You know, and it's like I went through the trouble of buying this and being stressed about it and thinking about how to get there, and now here we are. One show. I don't know if the tour stands out to probably anybody anywhere. But I did go to a Casey Musgraves concert in North Carolina as well. I'm just driving, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it. I'll go to Charlotte, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Which tour was that?
I don't remember the name of it, but it was her Golden
Hour tour?
Yeah. I don't know if it was called that, but it was
that album
such
run.
a vibe. And the venue was so beautiful. So I ended up going with Katie. She drove from DC, and we ended up just like meeting in Charlotte. And it was just so great. Like, it was just the two of us. Like, the venue was right on the water. It was an outdoor like amphitheater, but it was smaller than the one in Virginia Beach. So it felt like more, I don't know, intimate. And I just had so much fun because I just love her energy and her vibe. And this, obviously, Golden Hour is like that bitch. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
The one thing that stands out, though, is she has a song called Mother, which you probably know.
Yeah.
The guy in front of us was like drunk as fuck, probably blackout. He
Poor guy.
FaceTimed his mom during and he was singing to her. It was actually kind of cute. It was just like, we're just all here. We're just vibing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun. Just like casual. I wasn't stressed, even though I was driving far. It was just like an overall like good experience. And she picked good songs to play because that is half the battle. If I show up and I hate the set list
is a huge
I
thing.
always been like finding set lists for before the tour, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to like either learn all these new songs that they're playing that I don't know, or I'm just gonna be ready for whatever's happening.
Yeah. Speaking of set list, this is also one of my favorite tours, obviously, but the Happiness Begins tour. I did something I never did for this tour, and that was I did not listen to the album at all.
Wait, like Happiness Begins just in general?
Yeah,
You didn't know any of the songs?
No, I told myself the first time I hear this album, because it's the first time back, the first time I hear this album, I want it to be live. Like, I was like, this is a special moment for me. So, like, I did not listen to Happiness Begins for, like, the months.
That's chaotic, but honestly, it probably paid off.
And I only knew, like, the singles, you know?
Yeah.
When I say it was such a euphoric experience, like, hearing these songs for the first time live, I would do it more often, like, if I could. Like, if my concert date was, like, close to, like, when the album came out.
Like, if you knew.
Yeah. Like, I knew, like, the album came out in, like, April or whatever, and my concert was in a couple of months. But, like, if I could hear Cowboy Carter live for the first time, I'd pass away.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. And also, I knew I'd be seeing them, like, again. So I was like, okay, now I can go back and listen to the album, learn the lyrics, and then the next show, like,
have it on.
Yeah, I'm good. But holy crap, what an experience.
Man, I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody doing that besides like people showing up just like with their friends or something and don't know. Yeah. But for like your number one like band, like,
it was very hard. It was very hard.
I'm sure because you're on
crazy.
Jonas Twitter and people posting snippets and edits. And,
like, I didn't hear like anything.
That's wild.
I know. Gosh,
I love that.
It was a time.
Another one of my fave concerts was this K-pop concert called Super M, or a K-pop group called Super M, and they were called the Avengers of K-pop because they brought like one or two different members from a bunch of different groups and put them into one like super group.
Oh man.
And so a bunch of these bands like didn't tour in the US, so I wasn't going to be seeing them. And so like I got to see my number one fave, Kai, like in the flesh performing because he was a part of this super group. And so I was like, okay, so me and my sister went, and we were like 2 days before, I already had floor seats, so I was already like, okay, this is gonna be amazing. 2 days before, my friend was like, I just bought soundcheck tickets, and I was like, should I buy soundcheck tickets? Yes, I did. And so I went there because I was like, I need just like 30 more minutes with my boys on stage. Like I was like, I'm never gonna see them
Exactly.
because they don't tour in the US, so I need to see them now. And it was just like insanity. And I also have a fun moment from that me and my sister, we have our like EXO light sticks. And so 2 members of EXO are in there, and we were like shaking around our light sticks, and people around us didn't have EXO light sticks. They had like the other group members like light sticks around. So it was just us and maybe like 1 or 2 other people with like the EXO light sticks in the like center. And we were like shaking it around, and like as they were walking past us, Kai and Baekhyun
No,
like,
they didn't.
are waving at us, and they point to us and they're waving because we're the only ones with like the EXO light sticks like in that area. And I was like, I can die happy now.
Yes.
Like they saw me, I saw them. I was shaking my light stick, and it was just having a good time. But
I love that for you.
no, it was also literally like an hour because they had debuted, and then like 2 months later they were like, okay, they're going on tour, and we were like, with 6 songs. What are we doing? And so
they're in a boot camp to learn each other's songs. Like
each of the boys like performed like their own solo song or like 1 or 2 solo songs, and then they did their group numbers, and then they were like, okay, bye, and we were like, sounds good, bye. So
I love that.
it was incredible.
I love a good super group.
yeah,
There's-
that is like
honestly
perfect.
There should be more super groups, I feel like.
because it was so chaotic, because you don't see them interacting with these like other idols like regularly.
The dynamic changes for sure when there's like more than 5 people. That's awesome.
True.
I
was so
love
great.
that for you. Katie, do you have any moments
I
where
was just thinking,
someone
you have Joe Jonas. So I was like, okay, what do I have going on? So the only one that comes to mind, I've seen the main like probably 10 times at this point in my life. I see them all the time. And at one concert, I don't know, I was like singing and like pointing at the stage, and John pointed back at me, and like we made eye contact, and it was just like, that was it.
gosh.
Like
I love
was
Jono.
a
me too.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to go to school in Arizona just
that's
because
real.
of them.
Yeah.
Like
They came to the Norva once. I must have been in like 9th or 10th grade, because it was the Black and White tour, and they stayed after, and we got to meet them, and they like signed our ticket. I still have that at my house. It's like
They're so nice.
Yeah, I love them. I love that they've like continued to, because they have their whole 8123 Fest that they do, and like they're just like living their best lives, and they have their own label, which I love, because I feel like they were on the big one. I can't remember what it is now. Everybody was on
Fueled
it.
by Ramen. Was it
one of those, or like
Pure Noise or something like that?
one of those big ones.
Yeah.
And I just love that they ended up like, because they wanted to do their own thing, and
Yeah.
I just live and laugh, love with
They're
them.
great, yeah. They're
Live
great.
and laugh and love.
Yeah. I'll probably see him again,
No,
just
yeah.
every
At this
so
point,
often.
he's got a kid now, so you
They
gotta
all do.
support.
You
Yeah.
have
Well,
to
like
support.
3 of them.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
gotta support the fam.
For sure.
That's
for
what I
sure.
always tell myself when I buy tickets. I'm like, Nick needs another Rolex, so
Okay.
I'm there.
He has his kid. He has to put them through college.
That's what I'm saying. Joe has custody battles to fight. I
my
gotta
God.
support my man. Like
We
he
haven't talked
needs.
about that in a
Exactly.
minute.
No, I know he needs the money. So I get it. Even though he's the one working, but
Don't worry. They pushed back all their exciting projects to.
to do more
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
grubbing, to do more money grubbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If there's one thing the Jonas Brothers are gonna do, it's do anything for $1. I will.
No, honestly, after like when we were talking about it before we went to the show, and it's like honestly,
No, they
yeah,
they will do anything for $1.
it's
They,
wild.
It is.
missed out on like this chunk of time when the band was apart, so we need to make that money back.
Oh, for sure. They're like we're recouping our losses.
The
like
thing is,
one way.
Jonas Brothers, if you're listening at this point, you just need some better investors. I think.
Yes.
Like you need to invest your money into things that are going to give you money, and then you can just do whatever you want, like all these other artists are doing. Like you can't tell me, I don't know, some of these other artists out here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kevin did. Like he didn't have solo music to do, so he got into real estate.
True.
He like
had his own
reality show. He like started a restaurant
He
or
said
something.
anything for a check.
Well, also
I mean,
true. Also true.
He had to actually work, so
Get your fucking ass up and work.
no, literally. He's like, Joe and Nick aren't my meal ticket anymore. Yeah, I have to actually have a skill.
I know we're kind of getting off topic, but the book, the Jonas Brothers
Don't
book,
get me started on
I
that
just
stupid
wonder
book.
how many people never canceled their order, and that was just free money for them. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know.
I had my pre-order for over a year.
That's what I'm saying.
For over a
And
year.
People forget about that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, imagine you just bought it and you're, like, excited for it, and then they just never mention it again.
No,
And, you just,
and
the email
Amazon
gets
doesn't
lost.
tell you either that like it's been
Yeah.
pushed back.
Yeah.
Like if you're not on the internet, you don't know. But like you'll go on Amazon and see there's no fucking date where it says like release date.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine how much money they made.
Oh, they made a ton.
And then like,
they hyped it up like it was like this tell-all book. It's called Blood. It's like we're gonna get in the nitty-gritty of us breaking up and like all this stuff. And bro, where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Where's the book?
Where's the book? Now you have actual good stuff to talk about.
So true.
So people are like, oh, they're just rewriting. No, they never wrote a damn page of the book. Okay,
Let's be real.
They
please.
sold us a false dream for money.
Yeah.
And that's what
like,
it was.
They didn't even bother to pay like a ghostwriter or something. Like, you could have done anything.
No. They said we're gonna do it. I'm like, are you sure about that? Yeah. No.
So better investors.
We're never gonna see that thing. So
If you're listening and you haven't canceled that order, check your
please,
Amazon.
Please get your $25 back.
We're begging.
Literally, the last time they mentioned that book, I was married. So, like, it's time, guys. It's time.
It ain't coming.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can always rebuy it if it really.
At this point, yeah, I'll buy it when I actually see the damn thing in person.
At Barnes and Noble.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's when I'm buying it.
Seriously. I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna run off of like some of my other favorite like concerts. Burn It Up tour, obviously, iconic.
She was like
that was the epitome
formative.
of puffy pink shirts
Yeah.
and shaving your legs at like 10, whatever, however old you are in the 8th grade. I don't know, 13, 14. And thinking you're gonna have a chance with Joe Jonas and you're all in the fucking lawn. Like, I mean. Yeah,
seems a little
like
personal.
I shaved my legs. I don't even know if I even had anything to shave outside of my legs, but I'm sure I tried. Like, probably tried to shave like non-existent mustache or like
right.
If I don't even know if I had like pubes at that time. Like, I don't know, but if I did, I'm sure I shaved it, thinking that I had an opportunity. Like wearing my puffy pink shirt.
I mean, he saw you a year earlier
That's
at that kid's inaugural.
And he remembered. He saw me all the way in the line.
Over there.
Exactly. But yeah, that was an iconic tour for sure. Let's see, Happiness Begins. We already talked about that one. I don't know if you guys know this one, but Justin Bieber did a freedom concert for like something in LA about like cleaning up the city. I don't even know what the fuck it was for, right? But it is so good. I watch that all the time. Like
the live stream of it.
Yes, it is so good. He's like, he brings out Jaden Smith. Like, he brings out, who does he bring out? Post Malone, I think? I don't know.
Probably a lot of
like
people.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's just doing like random ass songs, and it was like so good, so good.
Talk about someone who had a good investor. What has he been up to? Nothing, and he still got his money. So
Yes,
like, we're begging for him to go back.
that's
on
what
tour,
I'm saying.
Release new music. Like,
I would die. I
Yeah.
wish.
yeah.
And then as a whole, just like when COVID happened and artists were doing like at home concerts, I just loved that. Like, I thought it was really fun, except for the Jonas Brothers one. That sucked. That was horrible.
I just love you. Just like have so much to say about them that's not positive.
No,
And I mean, that's
like,
a true stand.
yes.
However,
I love them as people, but like as like musicians and like actual like artists, they could do so much better. But everyone else was doing like really good COVID at home concert, like there was like Tiny Desk at home, like lots of people did great things. Jonas Brothers was like, we're releasing this really like high def concert that we recorded just for you.
Okay.
And they hyped the bitch up, and then you go to watch it and you're like, it's literally 3 or 4 songs.
Oof. How much was it? You had to pay, obviously.
No, I didn't pay for this.
Well, okay,
shit.
okay.
No.
Okay.
But
It was
someone did.
Someone did, but it was like before they made it seem like it was live, right? Like, we're
It's
doing
giving-
this concert
did you guys
live.
see Hallie and Chloe Bailey were they at the Zoom? I saw it.
It was like that. Like,
Pre-recording.
they're like, oh, we're
It's
doing this
live,
live
but,
just for you guys. And it's like, wait, Joe like cut his hair literally like the week of that, but like the video was him with like long hair.
like long.
And we're like, hold
So
on.
funny.
Joe's bald now. So like,
This ain't live.
this is not live, and they just duped us all again. But anyway, as a whole, COVID concerts were great. Good time there.
Oh my god.
I'm just trying to get out of the Warped Tour. Obviously, was a prime one. I remember I had
Did
to
you
write
ever
like
get to go?
I did. I went
Okay.
to like 4 or 5, but the first one that I went to, I had to convince my mom why I should be able to go.
It was hard at the time because I didn't get to go, but then Nikki got to go, and it's like, what's that about? But I guess
Literally.
like at the time, like
Yeah.
when we were trying to go, I mean, she's only a few years younger, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like the dynamic did shift
Oh,
a little
for
more
sure.
like brand friendly, family friendly,
Yeah.
not family friendly, but brand friendly.
It was, it was a lot. I mean, plus
So
it was
I'm
a festival
sure.
too, so it's
Yeah.
hours long. My mom was like, I mean, we lived close enough to Maryland, but not close enough to like go back home during the.
Yeah.
So she was just hanging out in Maryland for like 8 hours, like.
Oh my god.
And like the fucking summer, it's like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm ready to go. I'm like,
no.
headliner isn't even on yet.
Right,
Like, what are you
right.
talking about? But yeah, no, I had to write like a 3-page paper
I'm
to like
sure.
convince her why it should go, because she's looking at the bands and it's like,
Yeah.
like absolutely not. Satan worshiper. Satan worshiper. Like, no. Like they have
Right.
piercings and tattoos. She's like, you're not going to this. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the next year, I think I got like my license or whatever. So I went.
Yeah.
And then the last time I went was 2018, actually, like right after my honeymoon, and that was the last one because then it got like canceled. But yeah, that was a great time when I didn't know everyone was a creep.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also,
It really changes things in hindsight.
it really does.
Not that, again,
It
I
really
didn't have
does,
any
yeah.
bad experience. Sounds
No.
like you didn't either. But just generally, like knowing that was
Just
happening.
seeing,
Ugh.
what they were doing. Big
So sorry
yikes.
to all those girls.
And then my other favorite concert I did not get to go to, but this will hurt me for the rest of my life. Pierce the Veil did a concert at the Canal Club last year. And I can't even call it a
Oh.
concert. They did a show.
Yeah.
So the Canal Club in Richmond, you guys are familiar with, small ass venue.
Uh-huh.
Like I think cap is like maybe like 200, like
And that's like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
if you're squeezing people in and the fire marshal doesn't know. They announced that they were going to do like small shows, and I blocked out my calendar at work. I was going to buy tickets. It was like 12:02. They sold out. I was freaking the fuck out. I'm like, my favorite band in a 200 cap venue is insane.
I know.
Insane.
It's sad because it's like the experience obviously would be amazing, but then it's
Yes.
like it makes it so much harder because
Yeah.
you know you're a bigger band than that. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It was. I mean, I was looking on Facebook. I was in the trenches trying to find a ticket. I was like, I will give you like free photos for the year. Like, I will pay like this amount of money. Like, I don't care. My tattoo artist, she was like, I will give free tattoos if you give me a ticket. So she, look, mind you, she charges $200 an hour. So it's like, bruh, that's like an $800 investment right there. Like, people were going crazy in Richmond. And I didn't get to go, and that was like a bummer. And same with the Jonas Brothers when they did that secret show in the I think it was like Chicago or something, the Viper Room. But damn, I wish more big artists would do small cap shows like every once in a while, just to like bring them back to their roots, because that's such a different experience than like being on a stage and like having all the effects, and all that. But like being on a small
more
stage,
intimate with your like fans who are really there for you.
exactly. And then you really actually have to like, perform and like
This is true.
yeah, like
This is
they're right
true.
there, you can't be like miles away and just like fake it with, all the effects and everything. But yeah, those are all my favorite ones. I mean, I have other ones, but it's just like, oh, that was a great time. Like,
I'm like, I'm sure I could keep, like, we could go on for hours on like all the concerts we've been to, but let's switch to the ones we didn't like. No.
I would be
But no,
remiss if I
not
didn't
joking.
mention I saw Hozier in August.
Oh,
and
you did? Yeah.
Yeah. It was like life changing. I definitely.
Yes.
Okay, the thing is, I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. It was a festival, so it was a 2-day event, which was fine. We saw Noah Khan on Saturday and tons of other artists throughout the day. Saturday, wild, 100 degrees in the dead of August in Richmond. Like it was
Muggy.
rough out here. Yeah, it was rough. Luckily on Sunday when Hozier was headlining, cloudy, slightly rainy actually, like
I love
80
that for you.
degrees. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like I transcended and I cried and I lived my best life. And
I love that.
I will be seeing him next month. So
yeah.
Yay.
and it's his tour, so that'll be like
Much better.
yeah, because he didn't even do an encore or anything.
Oh,
like he
shit.
played Take Me to Church, they turned the lights off and everybody was like, hello?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Everybody's like, what do you mean there's no, like, because, that's a whole thing that we could probably talk about. I don't know if I'm a fan, but it's like at this point, like, it's people kind of feel some type of way. But
Mhm.
yeah, I would be remiss if we moved on to the concerts we hate,
That's
and I
true.
didn't mention like that
Oh,
was like such an
absolutely.
amazing,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
so good live. Molly said the same thing. She was like, "Wow, he sounds just like on the recording." I'm like,
Oh, I love that.
this man
That's
is
the best.
Yeah,
I love when they sound the same.
Yes.
You're like, yes, I picked a good artist to
Yeah.
Oh
support.
my gosh.
yeah, exactly.
Erin, are you going to any upcoming concerts soon?
Yes, I'm going to one of my little baby K-pop groups who like just debuted. They're having a fan meet randomly in LA. Like
Ooh.
usually they wouldn't be touring like anywhere like outside of Asia, and they're like Asia, LA, Asia, and I'm like, I will be there, so I'm going to see them. And then I'm gonna see another K-pop group called TXT, and they're performing at BMO
We know
Stadium.
TXT.
So
We know TXT.
I'm excited for that.
We're familiar with them.
We are.
Huh?
We're familiar with TXT.
We know TXT.
Oh yes.
We've been schooled,
Mhm.
educated.
Can't name one member, but we know them.
I do.
So,
Yes.
Hell yeah. All right.
So funny.
I don't have any upcoming concerts. I'm trying to go to the Meg concert though.
Yeah, I'm going to Casey Musgraves
Yeah.
in October.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a
like,
ticket yet, but
Yeah,
I will be there.
that's the thing is
Yeah.
you know you're going to a
I'm
concert.
going,
No
for
ticket,
sure.
no idea how you're gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah.
there, but you're like,
Oh,
I'll be there.
absolutely.
I'm going. So
Gosh.
Right.
They also like they actually just announced that this festival was going to be coming to LA, and it's called Water Bomb Festival, and it's basically where all these like R&B or like hip hop, like it's an Asian concert. Like it started in like Korea and like Japan, I think, and somewhere else. Anyway, so all these like hip hop R&B artists come and they like slut it out basically. So all the fans all have water guns and they like spray water at them, and then the artists like also have like little water guns. They spray the crowd, so everyone's just like wet. The artists are all wearing white. You're like, okay, like we're living it out.
God.
And so they just randomly announced that they were like, Water Bomb LA is coming, and I was like,
you're
what?
kidding.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because like a K-pop festival is like insane. Like K-pop stands are crazy.
Mhm.
It won't be the vibe. And I'm like, I need it to be Water Bomb in like Seoul and not like Water Bomb in LA just full of K-pop stands.
Yeah.
So I'm really but also it's like, who else knows what Water Bomb is besides
True.
like K-pop fans? And I was
Mhm.
like, please do your marketing.
Something.
Yeah.
Please put this out there because we need like other people. Like, I'm just like, could you imagine like Meg there? I would cry. I
Yeah.
would scream.
That sounds
That sounds like a
amazing,
journey.
actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
It
would
is a
do.
journey, but
At least you're not like passing out or like
Yeah.
whatever.
That's a time.
Oh,
it
man.
is.
Wow.
Were there any concerts that you guys like hated or did not like or didn't live up to an expectation that you went to?
Yes.
Yes, 1,000%.
I have just one.
Oh,
Oh, do you want
Okay.
to go first?
is it? I
You guys
wish
already
I could
know
guess.
what it is.
3 albums one night.
5 albums one night?
Oh, is it 5?
I loved that one. No, that one was
She's like-
great.
A number of albums one night.
5 albums one night was great. Remember this tour.
Oh yeah. I should have.
There's-
I
'cause
did
we
know
don't
that.
remember
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
If you want to know about it, go listen back. I don't know what episode it is, but
Maybe the Jonas Brothers episode.
yeah,
Like,
that's. I got nothing to say.
Nothing
nothing
to add.
good to say about that tour.
It's the way that you talk trash for probably 10 minutes in that episode, and I already just
That's what I'm
remember who. That's what
I
you
was
said.
like,
and
wait,
it's
what
so
is
true.
remember this? I was
Yeah,
like, wait.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Their failed attempt at getting money.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
was insane. Nothing good about that tour. Actually, besides my seats, that was probably it. I was close as hell.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Fair.
that was the only good thing. Nothing else to
So
say.
funny.
Yeah.
Sucked.
I have two. One is not like that I hated. It was just like it didn't live up to the expectation that I like wanted it to be. And this will not be a hot take, but it was like I went to the Ariana Grande tour when she did it was like
What's the album?
before COVID. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
But like the music, the vocals, like amazing, but it just seemed kind of like lackluster. And her stage was massive. She had all these like dancers, but it just seemed kind of like medium in comparison to like what I was like so excited. I was like, I love Ariana Grande. I'm like ready for all these songs. I'm ready to hear it live. I'm ready for all of this. Like the stage, I'm ready. And I was like, oh, she sounds amazing. So it was a letdown, but I was like, it was still a good concert, but it was just like not up to the hype that I thought it would be. And I was like, is that on me or is that on her crew?
That's bad.
Yeah.
Who knows? So the concert, it was a festival and it was called Camp, and it was labeled the K-pop Fire Festival.
Oh no.
And it was basically, So
no.
this was supposed to be, I think, 2022. And it was like this big K-pop concert that was gonna happen at the Rose Bowl. Like they had all these like top artists. Like again, I was going, Kai was gonna be there, and he was like headlining, and all these different like groups and like people again who don't tour in the U.S. So I was like, yes, and I like, okay, like I'm excited to see this because it was right before Kai was gonna have to enlist in the Korean military. So I was like, yes, I see my fave for the like first time, or well, not the first time, but like see him solo for the first time. Like this is my moment. And so the weeks leading up, they're promoting it. Everything's going great. Like we're loving life. And then we start to hear like inklings on Twitter and inklings like other places being like, I don't think Camp like has the right like work visas for these artists.
No.
Like, all these things,
Not
like
work
everything.
visa.
And we're like, hello, what's happening? Like, and I had floor seats. Like I was going to be in the pit. I was finna be in the pit. Like I'm there. And so we hear these inklings, but then no official announcement had been made. And so we were like, okay, like it's happening this weekend. Like that's fine. There's still time. And then Wednesday, Camp is like, oh guys, like if you want, you can get a free ticket. Like here's a free ticket. And we're like, huh? Like, I thought you were saying this was like not sold out, but like basically almost like what's happening. And so I like get tickets for the day that I didn't buy like a crazy seat for, whatever. And the Friday before this Saturday, Sunday festival, there's an announcement from Camp saying, unfortunately, Kai, so-and-so, blah, 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 da, 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 la, 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 will not be attending the festival. Me start sobbing because I'm like, I'm supposed to see my man before he goes into the Korean military. Like, what's happening?
Like part of the reason you bought the ticket in general.
And I was like, hello. And then so it was like all this crazy stuff because they only announced artists who were not going to show up for day one, but there was 2 days, and like we had heard again inklings about day 2 artists as well. And so day 1, they were like, after they posted that, they were like, if you want a refund, like here,
if
I want my $250 back for this floor seat. I do want that.
That's a good price.
So I got me and my friend got a refund for it, and we still had the free tickets that like Camp was like giving out on Wednesday.
Oh my God.
I was like, I don't want to go, but
I got the free one.
So then like I feel like during the concert, like the concert was happening, day 1 was happening, and that's when they announced when day 2 artists like weren't going to be there. I'm like, why are you waiting till last minute? Also, like, you should have known that you didn't get the visas in on time. So like you could have announced this ages ago and people wouldn't have like bought plane tickets, because it was a massive thing. They were like, it's going to be like huge, like all these people. And we were like, yeah. And they even had like artists like film videos and be like, hi LA, super excited to come see you, like blah, 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 whatever.
Come on.
They weren't even in the country.
So like, it was a mess and a half. And I went to day 1 because there was still some group, like until the very last minute, like noon on the day one, and like they were like, okay, like this group just touched down. They're like in sound check now, blah, blah, blah. So there were like 2 or 3 groups that I was like, okay, I still want to go support and see, because like they shouldn't have to perform to an empty Rose Bowl. But I was like, it's crazy that this was so last minute and so messy. But my friend figured out that they were giving out free like floor tickets. Like if you're in the venue, you just like walk up to the floor thing, they give you a wristband and you just go on your merry way.
Lord.
So like I did get those floor seats eventually.
Yeah.
But
and for free.
I was like, no, this is not worth it.
I hate that they pretended they were still working on it. They're
Yeah.
like, they didn't tell you anything. Like they're trying to say like, well, we were working until the last minute to get them here. And it's like you said, you know about the visas.
No.
You don't have to gaslight us.
K-pop artists, any artists outside of the US, like you have to get a work visa for them. So I don't know why this is not your first festival.
No.
Like, I don't know why you just
especially
like,
big
oh,
names
we can do that
too.
later.
No.
It was crazy.
That's wild.
But then they were like trying to sell all the merch. They were like, buy your camp shirts that had like all the performers down the back. And I was like, see what we're
missing
not
out on.
seeing. Like
Kind of triggering, actually. I would hate to
it
own
really
that shirt.
was.
Like,
Yeah.
at least you got a
It
refund.
was crazy. Oh, definitely. Like I got that refund and I was like, great. I will never go to another K-pop festival again. Just kidding. But
Yeah.
not this one. Not sponsored by them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy.
One that didn't live up to expectations for me was actually, it was all the way back in 2012. The Bad Sons they headlined their first tour after their first album. And I still really like them, actually. I listened to their stuff, whatever. But we were there, we waited in line. It should have been a sign that we were like the only ones there that were over 18, like, which is fine. Like they are very California, like girl pop, whatever, you know.
No.
The problem was the concert itself was like kind of like not a vibe. Like they sounded fine, you know what I mean? But it was so strange because I remember all the lights on the stage were really dim. And except for like on the lead singer, on Christopher, and it was like he was in a spotlight, and it's like it was giving like this is his show, but it's like you guys are a band, like this is not hit, like it's not like when Selena Gomez and the whatever her band, it's like the scene, it's like those are entities, but like you guys are like an actual band, like what's the vibe? So they sounded okay, but. I mean, it was their first headliner, so like they were also definitely probably nervous. Like I just remember it being like not. It was kind of dead, and like the lights were weird, and I was just like, this is odd. Which it's weird because I feel like that carried over a little bit when we saw them as openers for the Camino.
I was bored.
The other problem with that whole thing as them as openers. We've already talked about we were standing, and there were guys in front of and next to me that were 6'5", and it's like, first of all, you see me singing along to every song, you feel me elbowing you because you're standing on my foot, like just because you're 6'5" and like a DC, like he was definitely
linebacker
like,
or something,
right. Well, he was like he definitely worked for Deloitte or whatever, like Deloitte,
he sure did,
like
finance bros,
and like. They don't know the songs, which is fine. Like, you don't have to know the opener, but like, clearly I'm here to like see not just the band Camino.
Aside a little, so I can
it was
have
so
room
wild.
to enjoy my fave.
So I don't even know. I honestly barely remember what the band, like what the Bad Sons did because I was so annoyed at the guy next to me. Which is a whole thing. But I just feel like I was so excited because I was like, all right, it's been 10 years. Like, I'm excited to see them having grown as like artists, although they went from headlining to opening. What does that say? But, you know, whatever. We're giving it the benefit. And it was just sad. The other one we may cut, I don't know yet, was the Fall Out Boy concert. We just
I left early.
Yeah, well... Yeah. So we went, and I don't know that many songs by them, but they're big. So it's like, I'm going to know some, right? Like, in theory.
That's what I thought.
The set list was so bad.
It was so bad.
The set list was so bad.
I left early.
And I just
Yikes.
remember thinking, like, they had the screens on, which was good because we were in the lawn. You were in the lawn. I saw you.
Oh,
well, no, I saw your.
You were in the lawn.
No, I saw your photos. I saw your photos because, like, Bring Me the Horizon opened, and that was fun.
Yeah, and
They
came in
were
the
a
lawn.
vibe. Yeah,
that was great.
That's what I meant. Like, I saw those, and so the screens were on or whatever. But like, tell me why none of them looked like they even wanted to be there. The set list was bad, and they all looked bored.
Oh,
like
Pete was bored.
No, he didn't even want to be there. Like,
No.
why are you guys doing this tour if
He
you don't
was
want to do it?
Barely strumming.
It was giving Jonas Brothers
It
cash
was
grab.
strumming.
Like,
literally.
and I wasn't sure if it was just because I'm not like the biggest fan of them, if I'm like reading it wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
that's
even
why
the
I
people
was
around on the
hesitant.
lawn were like,
Okay.
like what's
I
going
feel
on?
better because I was just like, I don't know if it's like me or if it's the vibe because there were people around us that were like, it was kind of a mix. Yeah, probably. And then we ended up leaving early too, mostly because it was like we're vibing barely.
They already
and
played their top songs.
Yeah, it was so strange.
Really
it was
weird.
really odd. It's like, I don't know
I
what
can
you guys were
second
doing.
that.
Okay.
I only had fun because he came in the lawn.
Yeah.
Ollie came in the lawn.
They were so much better. They were just more
Oh,
interactive
for
with
sure.
the crowd. They were
Yeah,
like,
he was hugging people and everything. It was great.
You don't even like, even if he didn't come out to the lawn, it would have still been a better like opener than headliner. Like,
oh, for sure.
in
100%.
general, I was just like, what is
100%.
happening here?
I keep having
Dang.
actually lots of bad concerts at the amphitheater. Remember,
Honestly.
this was there, that one, and then now I'm remembering Blink 182 with Lil Wayne. That was an
my God.
absolutely
You saw some shit.
horrid,
Crazy.
horrid show. I left early for that as well, and I was in the pit
Yeah.
for that.
Mm,
Like it was neck
that's
deep.
bad.
Blink 182 and Lil Wayne. It was
That is
so
wild.
random, and Lil
So
Wayne was
chaotic.
absolutely horrible. Which is ironic because that's Something in the Water. He was great. So I don't know
Yeah.
what the difference was, but Blink 182 was cringe. Like I couldn't do it. Like the whining doesn't work well like live.
Yeah.
It's just like on record.
Yeah.
Where are you? Like it doesn't work
it really
live.
doesn't. It
and
really
I was like,
doesn't.
I gotta peace out.
But
like
how do you not play that song? Or like that's how a lot of their songs are, I guess too. So it's like, what do you do?
exactly.
You know, like, you
They're
can't
like
just
50 years
omit.
old at this point. You
Yeah.
know, like
I think that's the other thing. It's like
bad.
it's kind of just like
It's
with
nostalgia.
the Pete Wentz in them. Like you're 40. Clearly, you don't want to be here. Like don't do
No.
it if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Just wrap it
why-
up.
Yeah. If
Retire.
you want to be there, great. If you don't, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Like, why is Blink just releasing another album? Like, I
That's
don't.
crazy.
We've talked before on this podcast about how people are like obsessed with nostalgia, and it's like let's just let things live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's the?
They should have been done a while ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't good.
This whole episode, to all you artists out there, get good investors. So you can
Yeah. Hire your
Not-
fans to give you tips on what to do.
so that way you don't have to come back 10 years later, reunited band you don't even want to be in, tour
Exactly.
around the country you don't even want to do.
Leave your
Come on.
family.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to
I
do
get
that.
it. I get it. I wouldn't want to be on the road 40 nights a year either.
Me
well,
either.
whatever.
Honestly.
Gosh. Do you guys remember when 1D was touring so much that all of the fans were like, let the boys rest? Like,
That's how you know it was bad.
no, it
Like,
was so bad.
yeah.
They're like, we can't buy tickets, guys. Like, the boys like really need to rest. Like, let's like send the fucking thing to the media group or whatever. Like, it was like hashtags and just like
Modest management ran them into the
modest
ground.
management.
Please.
That's a whole other episode.
Imprinted on my brain.
Gosh.
Honestly.
Wow.
But they were like 1D was doing like a tour a year. So
Yes.
and big tours too.
Yeah.
That
And an
was
album
crazy.
a year. I
Yeah.
mean, we all saw the documentary recorded in the hotel room. It's like,
Yeah, poor Zane.
you guys put
Yeah.
out some bops, but at what cost? And I'm
At
so
what cost?
sorry. you
The
know?
burnout. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
That's why they're still on hiatus.
They're just resting.
They're resting, finally.
They're resting.
They're resting their eyes. They're not
R.I.P..
sleeping. They're resting their eyes. Okay. They'll be back soon.
Rest
eventually.
in peace, everyone. We
funny.
love you.
One thing I do want to just like quickly bring up before we, move on is the concert outfits that we see at like some of these shows. Like, I will never be able to see like red flannel, skinny jeans, and
Converse.
a white top without being like, am I at a
Yeah.
Five Sauce concert or
Oh
not?
my gosh.
Okay, the thing is like we did all
We
do
did
that. So
I mean, I wore a blouse
okay
to the 5 Sauce show.
I was dressed like I was at an interview, but like
I was business
other girls
cash.
were wearing like the Red flannel.
H&M had us in a chokehold.
They really did.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Forever
Business
21,
cash,
like,
baby.
2010 was the Peplum
Absolutely.
business cash. I don't know what to tell you.
That was a rough time. But yes,
Gosh.
triggered by
So good.
flannel shirts for sure.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
It's just really crazy having gone to like Western concerts and then also like K-pop concerts of like people at normal concerts. They're like, well, besides like Beyonce concerts, please, like those are events.
Yeah.
But like, you're just like showing up. You're like, oh, this is like cute, whatever. The K-pop concerts are a fashion show.
Yeah,
like, I feel like I'm looking cute, but I feel underdressed like anytime I go there, and people are like showing out, and I'm like, I love this for everybody involved, but
Yes. I know what you mean.
it couldn't be me.
Yeah.
It's too much.
No, it's a lot. Shout out to my friend Nikki that would post her outfits to all of the concerts she was going to for K-pop. And I'm like, wow,
Love.
lots going on. I mean, you look amazing, but I wouldn't have the ounce of confidence to wear that. But
Yeah.
you look great. I hope he sees you, babe.
It's not even about them anymore. It's
No.
like we're here for the clout.
We're here for the fits.
Yeah.
Gosh. Speaking of which, I really need to find an outfit for Cowboy Carter. So
Yeah.
I got to
It
start
needs to
prepping for
be-
that now.
Yeah, now. Because finding silver pants, that was crazy.
Yeah. It was like sold
how am I
out. It was
supposed to-
done.
Exactly. So
Cowboy
Gotta start
stuff,
now.
it's so popular right now.
Yeah.
Like the yeehaw movement is, speaking of which, we're calling this the beehaw
Okay. Yeah.
movement.
yeah.
Okay.
The
okay.
thing is, like, this is so perfectly timed because you're a country girl. I've been a country girl. Like, I've been living in this world. I have a pink cowboy hat that I've been trying to bedazzle for 5 years. I literally pre-COVID bought this hat.
Get it
and
together.
it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Like, this is, like,
It's her time to shine.
it is. It is. So, fingers
can't
crossed
wait.
I can finish that because
Oh.
I've been waiting for this moment.
This is it. No,
Waiting
I'm
for
ready.
an opportunity, and here it is.
Well, an opportunity to finish it. But yeah. Also to
is
wear
it.
it, generally.
This is it. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. For sure.
I'm so excited.
Man. Do you guys have some loves and icks this week?
I do. I typed
do.
them up. I'll go first just to get them out of the way. My 2 icks for this week. Number 1, Austin Matthews did not get 70 goals. He got 69 goals, which is just so rude. You know, like 70 is like
Such a clean number.
such a clean number. And the last game last night, like they were trying to pass him the puck to get a goal, and it just was not happening. Anyway, so he's at 69. So now next season he has to get to 70. It's like, you know, you went all that way. So that sucks for him. My other ick, people that reach back out to you after they ghost you and think that you're going to like take the bait. It's like, bruh, I haven't talked to you since February. You're going to send me a text that says, just thinking about you. You weren't thinking about me when you
No.
ghosted me. So what am I supposed to do with that information? Nothing. Go fuck off. And those are my icks. My loves for this week, Capitals are going to the motherfucking playoffs, baby. Against the Rangers.
Hey.
Who knows how far we'll get, but we're going. And it's good. It's a good time. So I'm excited about that. And then my other love for this week is forehead kisses. From men that are 6'2", with beards
There we go.
and hazel eyes.
There we
Oh
go.
my God. Okay.
So yeah,
We're going there.
soft launch on the pod. Next week, who
Literally.
knows? Who knows what next week will be? But for
TBD,
now,
TBD.
for now, I love them. So
For now,
Yeah.
loving it.
That's
Yep.
fair. That's fair.
I will go next. My loves. First, I reached my first like weight loss goal that I set for myself.
yes, girly.
Been like losing weight, and then like it hit the one mark that I was like, okay, yes, this is what I want to get to, and then
Skinny.
like, we'll still keep going. And I was like, thank you. I literally screamed after I stepped on the scale. So that's that. 2 of my fave teams beat 2 of my least fave teams in the Champions League. So they're going to the semifinals. Shout out Bayern Munich and shout out Real Madrid. Like we love and we hate Man City. So we're glad that they're not in the Champions League anymore. So my loves this week. My icks are one, how much things cost. I hate it. And then the Justin Bieber pick dropped. Like, that's a yuck.
Please.
Major yuck. Major yuck.
Why are his teeth like different colors? What's
Not
going
for.
on with everything? Like, Haley has road beauty. Like, come on, get some skincare going, and we move on.
I mean,
But those are those.
it looked like he just played like a basketball game or something. Like he was like, I think he's doing okay, but it's the teeth.
It doesn't.
That's
It doesn't excuse the teeth.
No, that's where the real.
It's like he got top
lies.
veneers but didn't have enough money for the bottom ones or something. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, and how do you even do what even happened?
That's what I'm
there?
saying.
Like, what's
The drugs or something. I don't know. Maybe he needs to tour again to afford to fix it, which I'll support. But
We'll be sad.
we'll be sad, Justin. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
One of my icks this week. Well, actually, it's the only one that I can think of. I watched The Mummy before I came here tonight. It's the first time I've ever seen it. It was like fine. I know. Okay, so the thing is, like, Scott
I
was,
saw a movie before Katie.
Scott was like writing for this movie.
Wow.
He's like, Brendan Fraser's in it. It's so good. I guess it was like a staple of his childhood.
I
It
feel
was
like
like
I've seen The Mummy. Wait.
it was like okay.
I've seen it before, Katie.
I'm catching up on some classics these days, but it was okay. And that itself is not the ick. The ick is like that movie could be so much better if it was made today. So like we have all these franchises that are getting reboots, that are getting remakes, and how come that is like I'm not really here for the remake, but I'm here for that specific remake with like the visual effects that we have now 25 years later, with the makeup effects we have 25 years later. Get an Egyptian director in there. Why do we have white men playing Egyptian men? I mean, I know why it was 1999, but not that excuses it, but like that was, what was happening at the time. So like I understand, but like it could just be so much better.
It could.
It could be so much better.
It could.
So it was fine. It was okay. It was like the vibe I got was like silly, goofy mood. Like whoever wrote that was just like in a silly, goofy mood.
Yeah, for sure. But as a kid, it was like terrifying.
Right. And that's why I can see, like, I think if I would have watched it as a kid, I probably would have said
The
what
Beatles
Scott said,
fudged me up.
Yeah. I know. Scott says, like, they're little ticks. I'm like, those are scarabs. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell me why. I turned it on. He's like, I'm going to tell our kids this is Moon Knight. Please do not do Oscar Isaac like this.
Anyway. You should go to
Anyway.
jail for that comment. Straight to jail.
He's mad because I've canceled basically all of our streaming services because I'm
Oh, shit.
I'm tired of paying. I'm like, they're all doing the password sharing thing
That's
and I'm
true.
over it. So I'm literally just checking out movies from the library.
Get on my accounts.
Well, yeah, maybe. But like, so Scott was like, you're using the library as your own personal Netflix, obviously. So
Yes.
I've just been checking out Oscar Isaac movies.
Okay, there you
I
go.
love that.
So he's like over it. You know what I mean? Like, he's like over it.
If you need, I have a jailbroken Fire Stick. That's how I
Okay.
watch everything. I have
Yeah.
every single channel.
I'll think about it because like
Everything.
I'm not missing them. You know what I mean? Like that's like I thought I was gonna miss it because like I be watching things, but
Yeah.
surprisingly it's been okay. You know,
Okay. Let me
I
know.
was
My
like-
dad jailbreaks Fire Sticks.
I will keep that in mind. I love.
It's got everything on it.
I had two loves, but I can't remember what the second one was. So I'm just gonna cover one, and it is
Yeah.
the sound that's going around TikTok of Kamala Harris. Like, you think you fell out of a coconut tree? I haven't heard
Wait,
that. You're kidding.
No. Have you heard that, Erin?
Yeah.
You think you fell out of a coconut tree? You are a combination of everything that is and was before you. Like, it is so funny, Adia.
I gotta
I'm
look it up.
obsessed.
I haven't seen that.
And somebody made a compilation because she laughs in the middle, and it sounds like the laugh of the start of Kesha's song "Blow." So someone combined the two. I'll send it to you. It's iconic. Isn't it funny how it's like it's so comical, and then she's so serious.
What is she talking
Yeah.
about?
I don't remember. I did watch the full thing, but I don't remember. But
What
I
does
just,
that
like,
mean? Fell out of a coconut tree? I've never heard that euphemism before.
She was talking about like it started with like my mom used to say like you youngins, you think you just fell out of a coconut tree. So like it's kind of like something I guess like maybe her mom used to say.
She's so funny, bro.
Okay.
I know I love her, but I just like that sound every time I see it. Anytime anybody uses it, I'm liking it. I'm reposting it. I'm like, you think you fell out
That's
of a
so
coconut
funny.
tree? And then
That's
she gets
good.
so serious. You exist. So I love that. I'm obsessed. Anyway, Thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah.
Fun to talk about
Yes.
some concert moments and, some experiences, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we are so thankful to all of our listeners. And that is all we have for you guys this week. Bye.
Bye.